What sort of an automotive YouTuber would I be if I didn't come to the SEMA 2022 in Las Vegas? Besides the fact I live here, it's just down the street. But I gotta tell you, being a local, it's really difficult to get here. There's no parking. It's a real pain in the ass. So this is what I did. I decided to park over at Resorts World, which is a Hilton property. Parking is free here. All I have to do is walk into their lobby where this big giant video ball thing and a Citron. And we're gonna take the Vegas Loop. Here it is over here, where we're gonna ride the little electric Twittermobile and it'll drive us right over to the West Hall. This thing is pretty cool. It's like a big giant chrome ball that's a video, a spherical video ball thing. Resorts World is a really beautiful casino hotel, but there's really no reason to come here unless you're gambling or something. But there's some nice restaurants. It just doesn't have a lot of attractions like some of the other casinos. This Citron is amazing. Check this thing out. They used one of these in Back to the Future 2 as the flying taxi cab, if you remember. These are really cool cars. I would love to have one of these. We're gonna see a lot of cool cars today, but seeing one of these is always a treat. French car, amazing suspension system, a lot like the Rolls-Royce and Bentleys used back in the day. Look at the dash on that thing, right? Car was way ahead of its time. I would love to have one of those. Jesus, that thing is awesome. Look at the turn signals up here. Amazing, amazing technology for the time. All right, speaking of technology, let's get over here, ride the Vegas Loop. All right, so if you're gonna do this little trick, what you gotta do is you gotta go to Vegas Loop, whatever, download Vegas Loop. You buy a ticket for $3.50 on your phone. It gives you a QR code. You're gonna show that to this nice person up here. They make sure you have it before you come in. $3.50, you can ride all day in a Tesla. Yeah, it's kind of like a Disney ride, you know, except the Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion. You know, you go through a tunnel and you end up at the convention center. It's the West Hall. This is where I just was at the Barrett-Jackson in July, where I sold my car. Same place. It's a blustery, kind of chilly, gray day for Vegas. It sucks. Normally it's nice and sunny. It was nice and sunny yesterday. It's kind of chilly today. So yeah, all the parking that's normally over there and normally over here, none of it's being used. Well, it's all being used for vendor space and whatnot. A lot of empty space. They're not allowing like any local park. I don't think there's any local parking. It's absolutely stupid. Well, there we go. The chameleon paint job. That looked really expensive. There's a pink Ferrari. It's sort of the ridiculousness of like, hey, let's take a really expensive car and paint it Pepto-Bismol pink. Because who would do that? Okay. The majority of the West Hall are like these overland trucks, Jeeps, Sprinters, 4x4s, people that want to live in a van down by the river that cost 200 grand. And then car polishes. It's like people with the polishes and the waxes and the glosses. When I was growing up, you had Armor All. That was it. You had Armor All. There's all kinds of different ceramic. Ceramic, isn't that? You know, I don't get the ceramic thing. Ceramic, when I was growing up, was, you know, it was a casserole dish. You put your macaroni in. Now you put it on your car. Ceramic. This thing is sick.
Guess we're about to find out.
It's a woolly mammoth. It had to be a lot of work to put that in here. I want this in my front yard. This would be great. This big mammoth ass. It's awesome. There are some things over in this section that I do find interesting over where the custom trucks and things are van life kind of stuff, because as you know, we converted our fire department ambulance into a camper. It's an off-grid lithium-ion battery system. I could sit in that thing for days. You know, when I did Barrett-Jackson a couple weeks ago out in Houston, I lived in that ambulance for a week and ran it on batteries, and it was fantastic. So I do like to see that kind of technology out here. A lot of this is the Broncos and the Jeeps and hitches and Raptors. Now, if you've got yourself a Jeep truck and you want it to look even more ridiculous, you can turn it into a Hummer Jeep truck. It's actually kind of cool. I kind of like it. I like it. It's a nice free body. And I like the color. It's pretty legit. Tumbler. It's a really well built one too. It's a really nice. I've seen a few of these. This one's put together really well. Looks like it's pretty operable as well. It's pretty awesome. And we're here with representatives of the Microphallus Association. These poor men who suffer with this sad disease can only compensate with these trucks. Loud horns, lifted trucks, large wheels. It helps them cope with putting on their tight underwear each morning with no bulge in the front, but by climbing into these oversized vehicles, they can compensate. It's so sad. Please help donate by buying Monster Energy drink stickers that help fund this terrible, terrible disease. It's so sad. That's taking it to another level. Look at that. That's pretty cool. This Johnny 5 tracks. Yeah. I really love this muted red wrap, but this prismatic red on this Escalade. Oh, I love this. That is really, really cool. I love both of these. I don't care, I don't care about it's a Tesla. I just love this. That color is fantastic. You know how I love red. I really like those. Good job. I didn't spend much time here. Well, I mean, I was here yesterday. I didn't record anything. Today, even though the convention is 3 times the size it used to be, I feel like I got through it a lot faster. And maybe that's because of some of the people movers, and things. My feet are killing me. There's a lot of the off-road stuff out here. There's a little bit, way too much of it, if you want to ask me. I'm not really into it. Apparently, there's some of the big business out here. Just the goddamn the trucks and the Jeeps and I'm not really into all that stuff. But it's a pain in the ass when you live out here because there's no place to park. You have to park at the hotel. You have to take the Tesla tunnel over here. There's just a tremendous amount of walking. I will say this, though. Sounds like I'm complaining. I am not complaining about the fact that we are back to normal. There's absolutely zero COVID restrictions. There's absolutely zero masks. There's absolutely zero social distancing. We are back to 2018 as far as I'm concerned, which I'm not sad about. There's people out there that be upset about that, but Vegas is 100% back to normal. We're not doing any masks, social distancing. There's no plexiglass between you and whoever. Nobody cares. It is no man's land out here. So keep that in mind. You want to come out here. And I think they really wanted to push that on this show because last year's show was pretty dead, because people were all worried about the restrictions and potential shutdowns and all those kinds of things. That stuff is over. We are out of that phase. It's done. And I'm just roasted. I didn't record a lot because there just wasn't a lot that I was interested in. You know, maybe it's because I'm jaded and I've been in this industry for a while. I rarely see anything that impresses me that I care about or like. And it's just because I've kind of seen all the cool stuff before, and everything is so bolt-on now and easy to do. I see very little custom-made fabrication, and everything is something somebody made or CNC milled or 3D printed or whatever. And it just, I don't know. It seems easy to me. It doesn't impress me much. I like this orange 55 over there. Yeah, I like that. That's a beautiful car. Nice little creamsicle. I like it. So here's an example of just stupid shit, right? You have to walk way over to the corner of that building. Way over there, like a mile, where that Tesla drops you off, and walk through this parking lot that nobody's allowed to park in. Now, instead of just going in right there to where the thing, they want you to walk all the way down here, and then walk all the way back to get in line. I have a hard time respecting anybody who engineers shit like this. It's like, oh, we can build rockets and self-driving cars, we can tunnel through the earth, but we can't figure out a queue line. Okay, a little bit of Tesla Loop information I just learned. The only hotel they're currently going to is Resorts World, and they only charge you to leave Resorts World. When you ride the Tesla Loop back here, or from any other point in between, there's no charge. So if you want to leave Resorts World, it's $3.50 is what they charge me. But it didn't cost anything to come back. Casinos, man. Obviously, the Tesla Loop is really just a commercial for the Tesla car and company and the Boring Company, because it's completely inefficient to take like a $100,000 car with a person driving it to drive 2 or 3 people back and forth under the city, when you could just have a tram or a tunnel or a subway or anything else that could be using that space. Even a moving walkway would have been, like this escalator I'm on, would be infinitely more efficient to move a whole bunch of people. Hey, whatever. Tweet that. Well, that wraps it up. So, basically, this is more of a video for locals. But if you do come to SEMA, it would seem that the smartest thing to do would be to stay at Resorts World. Take the Tesla over there, and I'm sure that's going to be the same for CES, NAB, and any other convention center convention. That's just the trick. That seems to work the best. In the past, you know, what you could also do is use the shuttle buses or the tram. There's a tram that runs through all the MGM properties up, you know, to the upper deck. But I could tell you that taking a cab or taking an Uber has become difficult. There's not as many people driving Ubers, and there's surge pricing, and you know, there's like 100,000 people trying to take a cab all at the same time. If you're local, there's no parking. Last year, I parked. It was easy to park and just walk right in. No more. They don't care about locals. They're not interested. Too few of us to matter. Place looked packed. Every square inch of it seemed to be packed. There was people everywhere. I don't think the food vendors really had their stuff together. They just couldn't make food fast enough, and it was completely cashless. There was a lot of people turned away because it was only credit card. There was no cash transactions anywhere in the building. Anywhere in this whole thing. This whole process has been cashless. So those are just some of my observations about the actual attendance of the show. There's plenty of other YouTubers out there that'll give you the slow motion compilation, you know, videos that have the techno music in the background. I hate those. Where you can look at all the cars and the Lamborghinis and the Jeeps and the whatevers. I like to bring you a different experience. from the eyes of an old guy having to walk around on his sore feet. I've been popping ibuprofens like Pez all day long. Yesterday I went to the show. I came home and I fell asleep in my recliner like an old man. And it's barely 3 o'clock and I'm roasted. I learned my lesson yesterday because if you wait all the way till 5, everyone's leaving at the same time, even the vendors. And talk about a pain in the ass. Take advantage of your 3 or 4 days. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Apex is only the first couple of days, and I think I've already missed out on Apex. Apex doesn't happen Friday. So actually, if you're gonna go, you probably want to go to Apex first. And Apex is all the little stuff. It's like connectors and light bulbs and original equipment manufacturer type of stuff. SEMA is just more for I saw more car polish. Like why is everybody's getting into the car polish nano ceramic technology business? I guess that's big business. I saw just 1,000 people selling car polish. And I gotta say, a lot of the people out there that are spending $50,000 on a booth, and I could not figure out what their product was. Like all of you vendors out there, I'm like, I look at your booth and you have a car on display that has nothing to do with your business, and you have like a fancy backdrop, and I cannot figure out what you do, what your brand is. I have no idea what your product is. What a complete and total waste of time. It was just a lot of bravado, a lot of trying to look important. And, there's no product vending there. And, I know that it's a networking event, but it just seems to me like people go to SEMA for the sake of just going to SEMA and saying they were at SEMA. Because there was hardly the 2 or 3 vendors there that I actually was like, oh, I'm interested in this. That had a product that I could see it. I like to go mostly look at the tools and the gadgets and things as somebody who's a custom fabricator. But just walking around looking at, it was a car show. Welcome to SEMA, the world's largest car show. And I guess when you walk past 500 lifted Jeeps with lighted rims and Lamborghinis with $20,000 wraps on them, you're just like, there was very few things that I saw in there that I didn't see 30 times in a row. And it can just be overdone. And, I guess I'm jaded. I guess if you don't get to see that stuff all the time, you're probably going to be pretty impressed. But I've been to SEMA now for the last 20 years, and it's gotten to be monotonous. It really has been. So, but I enjoyed the show, and I'm thankful that we're all back to normal for the most part. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my video. Go watch somebody else's SEMA video. I'm sure Tavarish and I'm sure some of the other people are going to have way better videos than me. All right, catch you guys later.